Hey guys, it's Mr. Roth again, and this time we're going to be talking about the avian digestive system. So to begin, we're going to talk about what is an avian. If you said a chicken or some kind of poultry, you would be correct. But when we think of the digestion process in animals, we think that most animals actually use their teeth to break down food before it enters the body. But avians do not have teeth, and therefore nothing is actually chewed in the digestive process. And thus, poultry animals are typically fed cracked corn as opposed to whole corn. And their digestive process is very rapid. So, starting in the mouth and esophagus, this is where the food is carried into the digestive system. Then, that food, after coming out through the esophagus, enters the crop. And this is where food is stored and soaked to move to the proventriculus. And this is kind of the stomach. So this is where the bird's acids are secreted. Next, it moves into the gallbladder. And the gallbladder stores bile. And bile is a fluid that's made and released by the liver and aids in digestion. And the gallbladder is a thin-walled, muscular green sac found on the top surface of the liver. And next is the spleen. So the spleen filters blood and protects the body from invading pathogens or antigens. And this also aids in the tissue regeneration process. And then next is the liver. So like we talked about bile is secreted here. And the liver also metabolizes carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins for that animal. And so the bile secretion that happens in the liver makes and secretes the bile, which means discharging. And then the food is moved into the gizzard, which is a very muscular organ which contains grit or stones to function as teeth to grind or break down food. So if you've ever looked or watched a chicken closely, you'll notice that it eats small stones, and that's to add to the gizzard to grind or break down that food. And then next is the pancreas. So the pancreas produces hormones that are involved in the metabolism of carbohydrates, as we just talked about previously. And then the food moves through the small intestine, which aids in the digestion and nutrient absorption. And then it's moved through the cloaca, which acts as the rectum and stores waste. And then urine is secreted or discharged here. And then the food is moved into the large intestine, which absorbs water, dries out indigestible foods, and eliminates the waste. And then next is the ceca, which helps break down undigested food passing through the intestine through bacterial action. And then the ceca actually churns into the large intestine. And then the next is duodenal loop, which is the upper part of the small intestine. And then to get rid of all of that material, what the chicken or avian has just digested, the food goes through the vent, which is the anus. So as we just talked about all of the parts in the digestive process of a chicken, here we will lay them out and you can see how those parts play their role in the chicken. So the food enters through the mouth, as we talked about. It goes down the esophagus into the crop, which stores the food, remember? And then it enters into the proventriculus, goes into the gallbladder, which has all of that bile, and then into the spleen. And then next makes its way to the liver, which discharges bile, and then into the gizzard. where it is the food is grinded and broken down using stones that the chickens actually eat. And then it's moved into the pancreas, through the small intestine to the cloaca. And this is where the urine is discharged, through the large intestine, into the duodenal loop and the ceca. And so I know that was kind of a short, quick video, but if you have any questions, you can talk to Miss Wallet or I.